I figured we couldn't get Chris on right now, so we'll just flip-flop them if we can. So.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our favorite interview guys, Power Mental Performance, Roger Kitchen Jr. Dude, welcome back to the show. It's been far too long.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
I've been feeling bad, brother. I'm feeling
We're getting cooped up, Roger. We need a pick-me-up, brother.
Motivation.
Okay.
I wake up, I'm 54. I wake up every morning. My ankles hurt. My shoulder hurts. I'm just not the man I need to be, Roger.
Okay.
Can you help me during this?
And we're cooped in. We're trying to do the social distancing, Roger. We're trying to do our part. I went out today to get my tires rotated, and I wore my mask. I'm trying to do my part. You know, you went to Walmart the other day, and people are not, doing their distancing. They're still bumping into you, and you're trying to be polite to people and not trying to get ill. So, what do we need to do, Roger? How do we keep our patience?
Well, so as you guys been talking to athletes and all these high performers, what's been some of their challenges that they've talked to you about this time? I know Tomcat, he's going crazy getting that cabin fever. But what are some of the challenges you guys are hearing as you're out and about talking with folks?
They're just sick. They're sick of this. We talked to our buddy Coach Legg, and he's used to being around football players and stuff, and he's just sick of it that he's having to do these Zoom meetings, with players he's not getting to see. We just talked to Coach Waldrop from James Clemens.
Oh, yeah.
He said he's used to the banging of the weights. He's not getting to see his players. They're not used to being around their guys, and this is just, killing them that they're not being around their fellas.
Yeah. So here's some things I think that'll help some folks during this time. There's a lot of things out of our control, right? You can't necessarily control that person that gets in your space at Walmart. That 6 foot bubble. So I think it's really helpful for people right now to control your controllables, right? What are the things that I can do? So today I wanted to share 3 universal truths how to stay positive during COVID-19. And so these truths have never failed. They always work. And Tomcat, but one thing a lot of it is perspective. So the first thing is endurance and perseverance always pay off. So as we get into this, we've been in this COVID-19 situation, about a little over a month?
Yeah.
It's hard on folks. Think of small businesses that have had to close.
Yeah.
The moms that are staying home and the dads that are staying home, they're now homeschool teachers with their kids. And so it just starts to wear on folks. But to shift our focus, we have to say, look, endurance and perseverance always pay off. No one wins by quitting. And so we have to really buckle down, endure for the moment, persevere, and really keep the long game in mind. So it's not so much about when's it going to be over, but how am I going to thrive during this time? And so, like I said, quitting, no one wins by quitting. Play the long game, okay? Think in terms of what can I do and what can I control in my environment. But endurance and perseverance always pay off. A few sports examples. Think of, and I'll date myself, and you guys know this. When did John Elway win his Super Bowls?
Later in his career.
Late in his career.
Late in his career. The famous Olympic speed skater, Dan Jansen, fell multiple times in previous Olympics and got his gold in his last Olympic. Peyton Manning came back from a severe neck injury to go on and win a Super Bowl. Late in his career. So these guys endured and these guys persevered, and it always pays off. So my encouragement to people now is when it gets tough, just buckle down and endure and persevere. I would say that the next thing to do is when you change your perception, you change your situation. So let me say that again. When I change my perception, I change my situation. There is an upside to the adversity. This is all new for us, and if I focus on things I can't control, I'm going to probably bend towards the negative. What is going wrong? it really takes a lot of mental strength to look at the positive in this. Think about, in this situation, where can I find the good things? Where can I find positive things happening? Families are getting more time together, which maybe they didn't have. Maybe some projects are getting done at the house. Fill in the blank. A lady that I work with, after hours, she made 500 masks for hospital workers and donated them.
That's awesome.
I think we're seeing a unique time where people are having to shift and adjust in order to change their perception and find the positive. And that can be hard for some folks, because depending on the intensity and maybe the severity of their situation, it may be hard to really hunt for the good stuff and find the upside to adversity. And so, but it's crucial right now. I've got to change my perception in order to change my situation. Nobody wants to be around somebody that is always pessimistic, always negative, always complaining. That just sucks the life out of us. So I'd say, my encouragement to everybody is that big perception piece. And then, while this may be cliche, I think the third thing is this. Everything happens for a reason. There is a purpose for all of this. And it's going to be different for everybody. But if they can really think in terms of, hey, what is the good that is going to come from this for me or my family? Think about the coaches. They're going into a unique season, and it's challenging them. I've got to do Zoom calls. I can't be with my athletes. Can't hit the weight room. Can't hit the field. I'm a coach. I'm a track and field coach. Our season was cut short. All of athletics for Alabama were just done. And the team I was working with out in Athens, Lindsay Lane Christian Academy, we had more kids participate in our track and field program than ever before. We had a big diversity of kids in field events and running, things like that. We were really poised to make a run at state. And it was like, boom, it was over. And we were just devastated. But again, you got to bounce back. And one of the things, my son runs on the team, and I've been really proud of him because he's still been working out. So a lot of athletes are going to have to adjust. They got to play the long game, right? They got to endure and persevere. They got to change their perception, which is, hey, I may not be able to work out, or I may not be able to be with my team. I may not be able to compete, but I can still work out and train. And my son's been doing that because we're playing the long game. This COVID-19 will eventually end. Life will sort of get back to normal, probably late spring, early summer. And then we're going to be back into fall, and fall sports are going to ramp up, and we're going to be, back in school and hitting it. So those three things, I think if we can do those things, it's going to make the next couple weeks and maybe the next month or two just a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So it was like Coach Morrison, the baseball coach. They were having a great season. They were and all this happened. So you just feel for those kids.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking for the baseball team because they were, I think, for the first time ranked in the top 5 or 7 in the state, and just having a fantastic season. They were going to go deep in playoffs.
What were they, like 15-1, 18-1 something like that?
I think they ended up 18-2.
18-2, yeah.
And it's hard, you think about the seniors too.
Seniors, that's what gets me.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. But again, play the long game, endure and persevere, change your perception. There is an upside to the adversity, and then really keep things in the big picture. Everything does happen for a reason, and that'll work itself out. And I think the coaches and athletes will figure that out too.
I got a fortune cookie, Raj. I'm really not down in the dumps, man. I had a 3-week furlough. I've been doing stuff on the backside of the property. It's been needing to be done for the last 10 years. So I'm doing well. But I got a Chinese fortune cookie one time, and I never forgot it. I never will. It's probably still taped into my day planner over here. And it says three things: nature, time, and patience.
Yeah.
The 3 great healers. And I have kept that in my brain for ever since I got it. It was at the Chinese place on 6th Avenue where somebody said they found a cat tooth in their food or something. It was good cat. It was cat.
It was good cat, Tom Cat.
I hated for them to close it, but they do.
Yeah.
But yes, I love it. Endurance and perseverance always pays off. Change perception and change your situation. Everything happens for a reason.
Yep. Yeah, they're universal truths. I've never seen them fail, and I've never seen them be wrong. And a lot of it is changing that perception to find the good things, and control your controllables. Just go back to some basic mental skills 101. Let me control what I can control and put my focus on those things.
Exactly.
So what are some things you guys are doing?
Working from home has been something I have tried to get used to. I'm used to always being in the building working. Now trying to stay focused, working, trying to, I have to look at my iPad and answer emails and be on conference calls. That's been a little different, trying to deal with that.
Yeah.
And for me, Roger, I'm essential. I work for Target Distribution, so we're steadily getting the toilet paper out every day and all that hand sanitizer.
You're my champion, man. You're my
hero. So we're staying busy, staying motivated to work because they give us a little extra incentive for this time for working, and so we're staying busy.
Okay, so tell me some good things Target's doing for you guys right now.
Well, we're just one of the best things was they give us the extra $2 raise because of all this, and
we're excellent, dude.
They are putting out hand sanitizer throughout the building. We're washing down forklifts and everything, and luckily, knock on wood, we've had not one case yet of anybody being sick, and we're just staying busy and getting overtime when we want it, just to meet the demands of the stores, and hopefully all this will pass and everything will ease up.
Yeah, so it's a unique time for business too, because they've got to adjust the way they do things, and they've really got to be intentional about how they work and relate to their employees to keep them engaged, feel appreciated. I think one thing that's really helpful is what's the overall altruistic goal, and that's really to help mankind through this pandemic. And businesses take that to heart, and they really shift how they treat their employees and engage them, and it's going to pay off. Yeah. So kudos to them.
Another thing that I realize that I haven't done in years, but we used to hate to do when I was a kid, I planted a 14-row garden today.
Wow.
Yesterday morning. Every one of the rows are 40 foot long. Okay? When it comes to Debbie helped a lot. I tell you what, you see a little 5'2" girl out there dropping corn seeds.
Well, good job to you, Miss David.
Yeah. And but anyways, you see stuff like that, and okay, we got caught off guard with this out of the blue.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't, what I'm saying to people, it doesn't take a lot of dirt to plant a good garden. You don't have to have 100 acres to plant a garden. And it's a satisfying thing. It's work in the summertime because you got to chop in rows and hoe the rows and all that stuff. But that's kind of me being proactive. Yeah, just in case something like that happens again.
Right. Yeah, my wife's doing the same thing. She's got 2 gardens, and we've been working it. I tell you, the unique thing that I've seen just in my neighborhood. I'm like Zach. I'm working from home, and my desk faces the window so I can see my street, but I'm seeing a lot more families walk together. Yes. I'm seeing young couples pushing their kids in the crib, taking walks. I'm even seeing some of the younger kids in the neighborhood, running. You're just getting out, jogging and walking and doing things like that. So walking dogs, there's plenty of couples right now that are walking their dogs in the neighborhood. So just the little small adjustments to kind of endure and persevere through it is really helpful. That health and wellness piece, planting a garden, catching up on that honeydew list. So good. These are good habits to have right now.
And like you said, your third one was everything happens for a reason.
Right.
If this reason is getting you closer with your family, closer with your God, closer with your Savior,
Yes,
closer with your children, it's great. I can bring it on. This has just been a sudden shutdown and taking us back 2 or 3 generations, and it's not necessarily always bad.
No.
Right.
That's right.
Roger, thank you very much, man, for joining us.
Hey, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Do it again,
Appreciate it.
Make us feel better, brother.
All right.
I'm ready to go tackle the next one.
All right,
Thanks a lot, Rod.
Thanks,
buddy. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Power Mental Performance, Roger Kitchen Jr. And it's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talking WKAC, the Big 1080.